Perch nerds. Alrighty, guys, here we go. Here they are. Expansion 3, The Last Stand. You must own the Last Stand DLC to play this, just so you guys know. It comes out tomorrow. So, the Shade Tech I don't want to read that. We all know about the Last Stand game mode. It's basically domination within domination. 3 zones. Each zone has 3 areas that you gotta hold to get the zone. And, yep. That's the Last Stand. New incursion in a civilian TV broadcast center taken over by the Rikers. Alright. 3 different wings and face unique combat scenarios. I never played this on the PTS. I didn't want to get it ruined. Wanted to have something new when this came out. So that is what you get for the expansion. This is the paid part. The new incursion and the Last Stand game mode. Now everything else is free and is part of patch 1.6. So even if you don't buy the new DLC, you will have all of the new changes in 1.6. So let's see here. Dark Zone map expansion. 3 new areas, 7, 8, and 9 to the north of the Dark Zone. I'll show you where that is real quick if you guys didn't know already. 7, 8, and 9 take place at Trump Tower here. We can actually go to Trump Tower. That's really cool. It's right here, and right here, and right here. Basically this area right here is the new Dark Zone. This is Trump Tower. You guys didn't know, this triangular building here. So Trump Tower is actually going to be a playable area. Woo! Can't wait. Go do jumping jacks in front of our Supreme Leader's castle. All right. Let's see here. Dark Zone leaderboards. There is a Dark Zone leaderboard now, guys. Weekly and monthly activities that are tracked via the new Dark Zone leaderboards. See how you stack up against other players in the Dark Zone. On the leaderboard activities that reset and change every week and month. All the tracked weekly and monthly activities count towards your total score. The higher you score, the better rewards you will earn. So basically, all the hackers will be on the top. It'll be an easy way to find them now. Good. That'll be a good feature. I think that's why they implemented the leaderboards, guys. Catching hackers. That 100% headshot accuracy. Alright, Dark Zone contamination events. Pockets of virus contamination in the subways below the Dark Zone are festering and becoming even more deadly. Cleaners have been attracted to the rising contamination. That's weird. They love the festering. Players must manage their health as the virus eats away at their filter while battling against powerful cleaners. Clear each Dark Zone subway of cleaners to earn extra rewards. Here's a cool one. Because, man, playing the game today made me realize how easy the game was. Like, really, really easy after playing the games that we've been playing. Legendary difficulty right here. This is a huge one. Pit yourself against the LMB forces equipped with superior gear and advanced tactics. Legendary difficulty strips mission of all narrative and focuses purely on combat scenarios. Each legendary mission has a single checkpoint about halfway through. Legendary difficulty is only available in World Tier 5. And legendary difficulty is only available in Napalm Production Site, Warren Gate Power Plant, and Times Square Power Relay. And I remember trying this in the PTS. It was very, very hard. All right. Character customization. Explore some new ways of customizing your agent with pay-to-win weapon skins, backpack skins, and new clothing sets and emotes. Visit the premium pay-to-win vendor in the terminal to unlock all the premium pay-to-win vanity content. The stocks update weekly, so check back and spend your money regularly. Woo! We get teabagging, just so you guys know. It might not be on week 1, but eventually we can teabag. I will definitely pay to win teabags. We just start on the notes? Yep, we did. We did. We're getting to the juicy parts here. Combat. Increase the time to revive a downed teammate from 3 to 5 seconds. Bleed no longer blocks sprint. Instead, it reduces movement speed by 20%. Additional applications refresh the timer. Medkits can now be used at full health and cleanse the character of all applied status effects. Hipfire stability has been significantly reduced when moving. I hope they mean increased. Like, reduced stability would be... Oh, I guess reduced stability would be more recoil. I was thinking recoil was reduced. I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. So you're going to have a lot more recoil when moving and hip firing. That is great. Great change right there. That is one of the big things that was needed. And more so, we got even more hip fire penalties. Increased hip fire penalties. Weapon spread is now wider, while stability and recoil are also more impacted. Good, they didn't just do hip fire stability. The real issue was the weapon spread. The spread of your reticle not being the size of a fucking head. So that's good. These did make it into the live version. I was a little scared. I know they did it in the PTS. We had a couple of iterations, and the first one was bad. The second one was good. Hipfire is not needed in this game at all. Yeah, but everybody was doing it because there was no drawbacks. Now there is. The other thing is when you, it doesn't actually say it here, but player camera will now be impacted by the hipfire, reducing their field of view the longer they keep firing. One thing I noticed is, it's not said here, hopefully it's still in there, is when you hipfire, you move at a slower speed, like the same speed as which you would normally aim down sights and move. And that's a big thing. When you're hipfiring running around, you're not so scurried like a fucking little fly on shit. But I don't know. It doesn't say it in this, but hopefully that made it in as well. Because I liked that. When you hipfire, you can't run at full speed. So we'll see if that made it. I liked that. There's now a short cooldown between each combat roll. Body shot damage has been slightly increased in PvP. This does not apply to PvE. Headshot damage is unchanged. Oh, that's a buff to my build. Woo! Implemented visual feedback when an enemy player uses a med kit. So we can see that they used a med kit. I thought we already could, but okay. The PvP damage multiplier has been set at 0.42. This applies to both Last Stand and the Dark Zone. I think it used to be... I don't remember. I don't remember what it used to be, but I remember in one of the PTSs it was 0.45. So they made it so that you do a little bit less damage with the 0.42. So it was 0.46 at one point. When entering a match of Last Stand gear normalization. When entering a match of Last Stand, character stats will be modified in order to bring a more stable balance to player versus player combat. Gear pieces automatically increases your gear score to 256. Damn, I'm really surprised that they kept that. You can use legacy things. I guess it doesn't matter that much because they're bringing crit chance back. Surprised they kept that there, though. Main attributes. Firearms, stamina, and electronics will be increased to the maximum roll of the existing stat in each piece equipped. Max in. Then we've got all bonuses included from gear and performance mods will be increased to their maximum roll. So basically, Yeah, because of this increased gear score to 256, if you're gearing up, you can craft old guns, old gear that cost a lot less to craft. And as long as you're only using them in PvP, it won't even matter. You can use a 163. I'm really surprised that they're allowing lower gear scores to scale up to 256. I felt that was an unnecessary addition there, but okay. It made it. Weapons automatically increases the gear score to 256. Talents unlocked based on the normalized main attributes. So I guess that means that... So what this means is the talents are unlocked based on, when you're in the last stand, what they are normalized. Basically what the maxed out stats are. Not what you had prior to entering last stand. So you might have a build that prior to going into last stand, you don't have something unlocked. When you go into last stand, you might now have enough of the attributes to unlock that. Say you don't have quite enough firearms to unlock brutal, but when you go into a normalized area, like last stand, you will then have it unlocked. Interesting. All bonuses, including from mods, damage and attributes will be... Okay, all bonuses, including from mods, damage and attributes will be increased to their maximum roll. Everything on your gun will be max. All players will be set to 35% armor mitigation value. This armor mitigation is affected by the talents and skill buffs. So more armor does not help you. Armor is basically gone. Doesn't matter how much armor you have. The only way to change your mitigation is talents and skills that affect it. That will be the only way to change it. Doesn't matter if you have high armor or low armor, and it won't change in the last stand. Player talents, gear set bonuses, and weapon set bonuses function as normal. So nothing changes there. Which I don't see how they would change because they are all the same number anyways. All right, so that's how the last stand normalization is going to work. Now for the dark zone, you can now fast travel between dark zone checkpoints. But when you do that, you do lose the gear. If you have gear in a bag that hasn't been extracted, you do lose that. Is it too late to get back into the division? No, now is a great time to get back into the division. It has been very casualized. It's extremely easy to get geared up and play. Extremely easy now. So don't let it feel daunting to you. I think that's the main reason they've done this, is because most of their player base that they originally had does not play this game anymore. And a lot of them don't play the game anymore because when they try, they're just too far behind. And it takes a lot of time to get caught up. Now, it's not like that. You can be caught up in a day. Really, really easy to get re-geared up. So, players will no longer lose Dark Zone experience and funds when killed in the Dark Zone if they are not rogue. So, if you die and you're not rogue, you don't lose anything other than the gear on your body, or in your bag, I mean. Supply drops will now reward Dark Zone experience as well. Koreatown is no longer classified as a landmark. Alright, those are the changes to the Dark Zone. Doesn't look like there's going to be a normalized Dark Zone in this update. Armor and resistances. Armor has been removed as a major bonus from items and replaced with health. Base health has been added to the game. Depending on the world tier you are in, you will automatically receive a given amount of base health for free. Free? I like free. Added a new bonus called Resist All, which adds resistances to all types of status effects. Older items, pre 1.6, everything you have now, with health bonus, will see this bonus replaced with all resist. So if you had a chest piece with health and armor, it is now going to be health and all resist. Your old health roll will turn into all resist, and your old armor roll will turn into health. All resist is capped at 60%. Resistance to status effects will now reduce the effect instead of having a chance to resist it. This means that a 10% bleed resist will lower the bleed damage and duration by 10% instead of having a 10% chance to ignore it. All right. The 980 Ti 6GB good for Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's good enough if you play in 1080. I have a 980 4GB, but I have a 1440p graphic or monitor, and no, it was not good enough. It was not. But a 980 Ti with 6, you should be just fine if you're playing in 1080p. You might not be able to get 60 FPS all the time with everything on max settings, but you'll be able to find a good spot for it. Oh, resub Ghost Astro with the 2-month resub. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. All right. Where were we at? Right here. When applied repeatedly in a short time, the player will naturally... Oh, shit, get a resub. Webez QC with the 4-month resub. Thank you so much, man. The resub train going down right now. All right. When applied repeatedly in a short time, the player will naturally build up a resistance to the status effects. In other words, status effects will now have diminishing returns when applied repeatedly to a player. So that is an indirect nerf to Predator's Mark, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. Oh, and another one! Me Sweeks. Thank you so much, man. Another resub for 2 months. The train is going down. This is a real train now. Oh, yeah. All right. Rejuvenated now gives 40% resistance to all status effects for 10 seconds when using a med kit. Because it used to do basically what med kits all do now. So now, Rejuvenated, they only changed one talent on gear. Rejuvenated now gives 40% resistance to all status effects for 10 seconds. All right. Gear bonuses on gear sets. They have been moved around. Okay, so if it's a minus, it's been removed. If it's a plus, it's been added. If it's an equal sign, it stays the same. Chess pieces no longer have damage to elites or reduced damage from elites. You can no longer roll that on your chest piece, but you can roll skill haste or enemy armor damage on your chest piece. And I believe on my chest piece that used to have damage to elites, it is now enemy armor damage. It was turned into enemy armor damage. Health on kill, EDR, and all res are staying on it. Which, that's weird because it was never all res, but okay. I guess that's considered health now? Kind of weird. Alright. Backpack is removing skill haste, removing signature skill resource gain. They are adding weapon stability. You can now get health, or you still have health, crit damage, and skill power on backpack. Masks. They are removing damage to elites. They are adding enemy armor damage. Are these just main attributes? Doesn't even say. I'm pretty sure some of these they made minor attributes, which is weird. It doesn't really state that here. This looks like they're only stating major attributes. That's a little weird. Because I'm pretty sure damage to elites can still roll on it. It's just a minor now. But enemy armor damage is now a major attribute on masks, and everything else stayed the same. Gloves. They are removing damage to elites and adding enemy armor damage as well as skill haste. Everything else stays the same. knee pads. They are removing damage to elites and protection from elites, adding enemy armor damage and skill power. You can now get skill power on your knee pads. Will you be able to reroll the new attributes on the old gear? Some of them. If it's like it was in the PTS, some of it you can reroll. But the ones like on the backpack, if you wanted weapon stability, could not get it. But you could get enemy armor damage on your mask. So I'm not certain how that works. Maybe they'll state that more when we scroll down. Maybe it'll be different. And so like on gloves, you couldn't get skill haste, but you could get enemy armor damage. So some of the stats you can get, some of them you can't. And that's at least how it was in the PTS, and probably still how it's going to be. Everything else is staying the same there. There's the knee pads. Holster is removing damage to elites and removing pistol damage. Keep in mind, on gloves, they doubled the amount of pistol damage. So rather than rolling pistol damage on your holster, you can get it on your gloves, and it's twice as much. They added crit chance and reload speed to your holster. Kept skill haste and health. So reload speed on holster was another one that I could not roll onto my holster. I had to actually get a new holster and then roll reload speed onto it. So basically, I think the way it works is if the piece of gear didn't ever used to have it on there, you're going to need to get a new piece to re-roll it. So like, but at the same time, I think enemy armor damage was able to be on gloves. Maybe not, but I'm pretty sure damage to elites turned into enemy armor damage on gloves that used to have damage to elites. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked in in the PTS for me. So we'll see. We'll see what they did. Oh, another resub. 2-month resub. Thank you so much, man. The Division Hype. T. Cartmint. Thank you so much, man. Or it's T. Cartman T. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, enemy armor damage was never on gloves, but damage to elites was. And from the gloves that I had in the PTS, my damage to elites that were on my gloves turned into enemy armor damage. So I'm not sure how they're working it. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. Old Man Deuce with the 2-month resub. This train is going down. Holy shit. Thank you guys so much. Going ham on the resubs. Alright. Other changes to stats. Enemy armor damage is now a major bonus and no longer a minor. Damage to elites is now a minor bonus and no longer a major. Enemy armor damage is definitely an important attribute. Is definitely. Damage from elite values have been halved, so that's protection from elites. Pistol damage is doubled on gloves. Now, recalibration changes. With all of these changes to gear stats, here's how the details of how existing gear should convert with this update. Good, they're covering what we were just asking about. You had a native armor roll bonus, not recalibrated. It will be turned into health. If you had a recalibrated armor bonus, the recalibration will reset and you will be back to the initial bonus the item had when it was acquired. I can see some problems with this because if they don't reset, say this here, say you had armor bonus on your chest and it already rolled that, and then you say re-rolled ammo on your chest. You re-rolled ammo onto it. Now, if they don't let you recalibrate, you're going to be stuck with a health ammo chest. But say you have a chest piece and you rolled on the armor. The armor will not be health, and you will be able to reset. It'll be unlocked, and you'll be able to re-roll it again. So some people are probably going to be pissed off at their gear, and some people won't, depending on if you rolled the armor or didn't roll the armor. You get the door really quick, guys. All right. Sorry about that. UPS. All right. You always expect me to come back with the door when I say I'm going to get the door. Just take it off the hinges. All right, so we are back here. If you had a native health bonus not recalibrated, it will turn into all resistance. If you had a recalibrated health bonus, the recalibration will reset. So if you rolled to health, you will now get to re-roll it to whatever. All right. Oh, on any other piece. Okay, so here. If you recalibrated health bonus in chest piece and no native armor roll on... This is complex. Jesus Christ. If you had recalibrated health bonus in chest piece and no native armor roll on this chest piece, the health roll will remain. If you recalibrated health bonus in chest piece and a native armor roll on this piece... Wait. If you had a recalibrated health bonus in this chest piece and a native armor roll on this piece, the recalibration will reset, as you would otherwise end up with 2 health bonuses. If you had a recalibrated health bonus on any other piece of gear, the recalibration will reset. If you recalibrated skill haste on your backpack, it will reset. If you recalibrated pistol damage on your holster, and the holster was acquired after 1.5, the recalibration will reset. If you recalibrated enemy armor damage or damage to elites, and the item was acquired after 1.5, meaning a 256, basically, the recalibration will reset. All recalibrations on exotic weapons will reset. Unique talents on exotic weapons cannot be recalibrated. Free talents on exotic weapons that don't have a unique talent, Liberator, Centurion, Ear, and Hilder, can be recalibrated. That's the bottom slot. When a recalibration resets, the money spent will be reimbursed based on the recalibration costs of update 1.6. Since recalibration now has a cost cap, if the initial recalibration costed more, you will only be reimbursed according to the new cost. So if you spent 20 million re-rolling something, but it only costs 2 million to roll it that many times now, at least you'll get 2 million back, and you can re-roll it again. Woo! Good lord, this was hard to read. On the move has been reduced to 15%. It used to be 30%. 50% nerf. Battle Buddy reduced to 30%. This used to be, I believe, 60%. So that's also been reduced. Critical save also reduced 20%. That used to be 40%. So all of the damage reduction talents there have been nerfed by 50%. Adrenaline will no longer apply overheal. Instead, it replaces the instant heal of medkits with a heal over time that can also apply while taking damage. These are good changes. On the move, Battle Buddy, and Critical Save was causing people to get a little too tanky. So today when I was playing and I was complaining about how nothing hurts me and I can just walk up to people and shoot them, a lot of that was because I run on the move and I had 30% damage reduction. So now it will only be 15%. Changes to skill power. The skill power curve has been modified, resulting in everybody running Seeker Mines. Just kidding. Resulting in less efficient skills at low skill power and more efficient skills at high skill power. Skills will now scale to the world tier you are currently in, as an expected skill power has been implemented. Diminishing returns on skill power will not kick in before 450,000 skill power. All skills have been adapted to this new scaling. Skill haste gear bonuses have been increased by 100%. So if it used to have 7.5, now it will have 15%. Skill haste has a cap of 50%. Sticky Bomb changed the flashbang mod to only have a flashbang effect. Replace the proximity fuse mod with Disruptor, which now has an EMP effect. And its explosion radius has been increased to 9 meters. So, that's good. Flashbang is no longer a flashbang EMP. Flashbang will blind you. EMP will just knock out your skills and not blind you. Adding a warning and delay to Sticky Bomb. This means that Sticky Bombs, except for Disruptor, which is the EMP one, will no longer detonate immediately, but after some time. Rip Sticky Bombs. Rip Sticky Bombs. First Aid. Defibrillator will now heal in 2 steps. 1 instant burst of healing, followed by a heal over time. Booster Shot. Damage mitigation bonus decreased by 50%. From 15% to 7.5. So Booster Shot still will give you 15% damage, but only 7.5% mitigation. I'll still be using Critical Save and Booster Shot. And On the Move. All of those are still worth using. Like, just because they got nerfed doesn't make them useless. It's still 15% more useful than not having it, or whatever the number is. Shock Turret will no longer deal any damage and only shock the enemy. Sick, now we don't flag rogue when we shock someone in the dark zone. Woohoo! Base skill and active sensor. Range decreased from 35 meters to 25 meters on the base turret and the active sensor. All mods except shock. Base health has been reduced by 25%. All mods, skill power impact on health has been reduced. That's good, because it was so annoying going up against those skill power players that would drop a turret, have their turret back in less than 10 seconds, and it took more than 10 seconds to kill the fucking turret. It was insane how much health those turrets had. So, you're not going to be able to have 1,000,000 health on your fucking turret anymore, thank God. Mobile cover. All mods. Base cooldown increased by 33%. That sounds kind of... People used mobile cover? Enough to cause the cooldown to increase? Interesting. They nerfed mobile cover, guys. Oh, what? I didn't know people used that. Okay. Pulse. Reduce the impact of skill power on critical hit chance and critical hit damage. Tactical scanner. Crit hit chance increased by plus 20%. So you're going to actually get more crit chance on your good pulse, and you're going to get less crit damage. Minus is 11% crit damage. Gives you more crit chance. So that's kind of cool. Especially with submachine guns bringing crit chance back. There'll actually be builds that have high crit chance again. Not as much crit damage, but they will have more crit chance. Smart cover. Damage resilience decreased by 33%. Reduced impact of skill power on damage resilience. And the base cooldown is increased by 9%. So another huge nerf to smart cover. Which is good. It sucked in PvP against the skill power guys. It was really stupid. The amount of damage resilience they had. It was just crazy. I think the real problem with smart cover, though, is not the damage resilience. It's in the way that smart cover's little bonus attribute works. Where people don't use smart cover in cover. They pop into smart cover and they have the effect for 5 seconds after the fact, which is just stupid. Like, I'm so surprised after all these nerfs to smart cover that they haven't actually changed its master mod, which is the real problem with smart cover. Because nobody sits in smart cover. You pop in, you get out. Seeker Mine, all mods, added a PvP damage modifier that applies to PvP activities. Reduced its potency. The multiplier is set to 40%. The base cooldown was increased by 17%, and the cluster stagger effect has been removed. Explosion damage has been decreased, and bleed damage has been increased. So, why the hell don't they just adjust PvP and PvE separately? They do sometimes. They do sometimes. As we can see with Seeker Mine, they added a PvP modifier. But yeah, something like Smart Cover affects PvE a lot more than it does PvP, I feel. A change like this. No more stagger on the cluster. Also, the instant explosion damage has been reduced and is made up for it in increased bleed damage. Support station, all mods. Radius decreased from 8 meters to 7.5 meters. Woohoo! That is crazy. 1.5 feet less. Holy shit, that's a big nerf. Oh my god. Like the size of my dick. Life support. Revive time increased from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. Support station heal procs have a 1 second cooldown. So it's just not a constant heal, I guess. It heals, then heals, then heals. 5 feet? A half a meter is not 5 feet, man. A half a meter is about a foot and a half. I don't know what planet you're on where a half a meter is 5 feet, but cool. Cool, I want to be there. I'd be so tall. I'd be like 20 feet tall here. Yes, that's a half a meter. 7.5 from 8. Half a meter is not 5 feet. That's a point, turd, and it's actually not a point, that's a comma. If you could see, turd. A half a meter is a half a meter. I said 1.5 feet? Yes. 1.5 feet is roughly a half a meter. Someone didn't go to school. Someone didn't go to school. Rip him. Alright, signature skills. The exhaust that applies after a player received a signature skill effect is extended to 60 seconds from 30 seconds. So, basically, if you pop damage sig, you cannot receive another damage sig for 60 seconds. It used to be 30 seconds. I mean, I'm confused too. I mean, meters, fucking yards, feet, inches, millimeters, it's all fucking confusing as hell when you try to relate it to each other. But a meter is a little bit less than 3 feet. So a half a meter is a little bit less than a foot and a half. But usually when I do meters, I just consider them like yards, and I just count them as 3 feet, even though they're not. Close enough, close enough. All right. Players will no longer be able to trigger a signature skill if they are under the exhaust effect. This is a great change. Before, wait, the USA is the only place in the world that they use feet? How the fuck do you walk anywhere then? You do handstands everywhere? Holy shit, I would hate to live anywhere else in the United States then. Good lord, I love my feet, and I love using my feet. Could you imagine going grocery shopping? How would you even, like... You'd be like doing a one-handed handstand, trying to like. How would you even have a cart? You're crazy. Oh man. I prefer to use my feet. How do you drive cars? How do you... Oh, you know what? You can drive cars with just your feet. I watched it on the Grand Tour. The guy is a pro drifter, and he has no arms. I'm not kidding, dude. There's this guy who's like a fucking pro drifter. He has no arms. No arms. He uses his feet. That's crazy. That's crazy. So how is 3 feet 1 meter? It's roughly. It's a little bit less. Oh, I see what you mean. How are your 3 feet? Yeah, that's true. All right. Players, this is a good one right here. Players will no longer be able to trigger a signature skill if they're under the exhaust effect. Before, when you say someone popped a fucking signature skill, like say damage sig, and you had that exhaustion for 30 seconds, someone else or you could pop it again and it would do absolutely nothing and it would use your skill. Now, it will not let you use it. This is a great change right here. You will not be able to use it until you're able to use it. Really good. USA and you think Alaska are the only places that they use feet, yards, and miles? Well, just to let you know, Alaska is part of the United States of America. It is not its own country. Just to let you know. All right, signature skills cooldowns will be affected by skill haste, guys. So this is good. The more skill haste you have, the faster you're going to get your signature skills. So this is a good one here, guys. Yes, Alaska is not a country, guys. Okay? Oh, funny people. All right, Tactical Link. Tactical Link has changed here. Damage bonus is decreased to 10% in Last Stand. This change doesn't apply outside of Last Stand, which is any other PvP mode or PvE, where the bonus remains at 30%. Damn, that's a big fucking nerf to Tactical Link. That is a big nerf to Tactical Link. Alaska is not a continent either, Tyrant. Alaska is on the continent of North America. All right. Weapon stability will be more hindered by the rate of fire bonus. So, the faster your rate of fire, the more unstable your gun will be when you use Tactical Link. All right. All right. I mean, the Earth is flat. Where I'm at, the Earth is flat. If I pour water on the ground, it stays put. The Earth wasn't flat. Wouldn't it, like, roll over the edge of the Earth or something? I don't know. Makes no sense to me. Obviously, the world's flat. Mm-hmm. All right, new gear sets. Just kidding. There's no new gear sets. They scrapped. I just scrolled down to see if we cheated. They scrapped it, man. But yeah, Florida is flat, dude. Did you know? I don't know if I'm positive on this. Like, this is what I heard from my little brother. So I don't know if this is true. Apparently, the highest elevation in Florida is 300 feet above sea level. So technically, the highest you could ever get in Florida is on top of a fucking skyscraper. There's no mountains. There's no hills. 300 feet above sea level. That's insane. I'm not trolling here, man. This is what I've heard. I haven't verified it, but apparently that's true. That's crazy. All right, defense set. Defense set. In Holland, you're 10 below sea level? Yeah. That's going to be sweet when you flood. That's going to be real sweet when it floods. All right. The highest you can get in Florida is some good kush. Damn. There's no good kush in Florida, man. Just kidding. They bring it here in the mail. All right. 4 pieces of defense. When used, your ballistic shield has no skill mod active. It will no longer remove critical chance from your weapon. What do you know? Characters will now automatically switch to their sidearm if the SMG runs out of ammo. All right. So, before, the defense set removed crit chance from your submachine gun. Now, it just doesn't give any mods. And this doesn't mean mods as in performance mods. This is mods as like runes to your skills. So, you don't get the bonus damage and stuff, or recoil reduction, or any of that from your ballistic shield. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I think the defense set will be a lot better with submachine guns now. We'll see. Especially because submachine guns, spoiler alert, are getting crit chance back. Alright, Reclaimer set. 2 pieces. Is now 30% support station range. I've never used Reclaimer, so I don't know what it used to be. 3 pieces is now 50% support station duration. 4 pieces, all support station mods are active at the same time. That's really OP for a healer, man. Huge range, huge duration, and every single fucking mod. Holy crap. Too bad I hate playing a Reclaimer build. Hopefully we have someone friendly on our squad that runs this, because that is going to be really, really good. That is really, really good. So, what this means about all mods are active, that means you're going to have Immunizer up. You're going to have the ammo station up, which also gives you skill haste. You're going to be able to revive yourself off of the support station, or automatically from the support station. And what else? Is that it? Immunizer, ammo, and skill haste, self-revive. I think that's it. Yeah, that's really, really good. That's really good. Come to PS4? Yeah, no. I would never play this game on console. Fuck that mess. Alpha Bridge. 4 pieces. Now only provides the 3rd free talent of the unused weapon instead of all 3. But all talents ignore unlock requirements. So instead of having 6 talents on your guns, you can only have 4. But this is what makes this still really good. You do not need to meet the requirements. So what this means is you can get a gun with all damage attributes and then spec pure skill power, pure electronics, or pure, what's it called? Stamina. So that's actually pretty cool. You can do some really badass builds with Alpha Bridge still. Just because you don't get those 2 other talents doesn't mean it's bad. So Alpha Bridge is still going to be a very popular build, guys. A lot of times there's talents on guns that even with the old Alpha Bridge, I could not unlock because I just couldn't get enough skill power or whatever, electronics or whatever. Now you can, yeah. Never run out of consumables with Reclaimer. Reclaimer isn't a consumable set anymore. That's gone. Reclaimers is a pure support station set now. No more does it affect consumables. So in some ways, Alpha Bridge got buffed, and in other ways, it got nerfed. But if you're running, say, a skill build, but you want to still be able to deal damage with your guns, Alpha Bridge could be a really good way to do it, man. You don't think it's going to be great? It wasn't in the PTS? That's not true. It was actually really good in the PTS. Alpha Bridge was really common. It was still good in the PTS. People just, early in the PTS, weren't building it properly. And at one point, it was the most broken set in the PTS because of Seeker Mines. But yeah, you can make a really tanky fucking Alpha Bridge. Super fucking tanky Alpha Bridge. Because you can get all your damage talents unlocked while speccing nothing into firearms. Not a single piece of firearms and still have good damage. And that's good. So I think Alpha Bridge will still actually be pretty good. Alright, Tacticians. 2 pieces give 15% skill haste now. I think it used to be 7.5. 4 pieces. Now consumes the skill power buff on skill use instead of after 10 seconds. Hopefully they fixed this because it was actually consuming it when your teammates used a skill as well. And was not giving them the bonus. It was just taking away yours. Yeah, stamina does scale bad now. Well, I wouldn't say it scales bad. I would say it scales on par of the other stuff now. It used to be unbelievably broken compared to, like, there was no reason to spec into firearms once you had your talents unlocked because stamina gave so much more. But now it's on point with your firearms, much more balanced. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did, so obviously imbalanced. Now, Banshees is useless in The Last Stand, by the way, guys. Even though it shows the enemies as rogues and calls them rogues, they are not considered rogues with the Banshee set in Last Stand. So, they changed 4-piece. While rogue, all ammo is completely refilled every 30 seconds. Damage taken from non-rogue players is reduced by 10%. Nothing changed there. While rogue, damage to rogue players is increased by 10%. This bonus is increased to 20% for 10 minutes after being killed by a rogue. So basically, if you want to play in the Dark Zone and you don't want to go rogue, this is the set that you want to use. If someone comes and ambushes you, you are now going to have 20% more damage to rogue players. Plus, the set also gives you damage to targets out of cover. So you're going to have a 30% damage increase if you're going after a rogue that just killed you, or any rogues, actually, for 10 minutes after being killed by a rogue, and if they're out of cover. That's really strong for the Dark Zone. Really strong for the Dark Zone. Deadeye! 4 pieces. Now only works with zoomed scopes. Yay. Everyone was like, oh, they nerfed your build. They nerfed your build. You're going to be pissed. Nope, they didn't nerf my build. I use a zoom scope. All right. Loot changes here. We got loot changes here. Ugh. All right. High-end named items become exotic. This quality comes with a new item color. They are pink. Exotic weapons have been removed from the advanced weaponry vendor. Update sources for exotics. So, you can no longer buy your exotic weapons from the advanced weapon vendor. Some sources have been moved around. We're not telling you where. We also added more sources with chances to drop any exotic. Exotic caches have been added to the game. These guarantee an exotic item when opened. Phoenix credits cap has been increased from 2,000 to 5,000. Thank God. Scavenger box in the base of operations will now give you a 256 if you're in World Tier 5. Weekly assignment caches will now guarantee an exotic item. Exotic items sold at vendors have had their prices slightly increased. So apparently exotic items will still be sold at vendors. They just won't be at the advanced weaponry vendor, I guess. Strange. This makes no sense because the only place to get those guns, I thought, was from the advanced weaponry vendor. But if they're having their prices increased from the vendors, where the fuck are they even talking about here? Am I tripping? Did they used to sell named high-ends somewhere else other than the advanced weaponry vendor? The Phoenix credit vendor? Did they sell them there? They did sell them there? Okay. There's probably going to be more vendors that sell them now. I don't know. Gear set items have been lowered to be equivalent to high-end prices. All right. Crafting. Recalibrations are now unlimited. Thank fucking God. No more 6 times trying to get lucky on your gun, guys. Thank God. This means that once a stat is picked for recalibration, it can be recalibrated as many times as you have currency to pay for it. The cost will increase at first, but eventually cap and no longer increase. I'm pretty sure it caps at 5 rerolls. Meaning that once you hit 5 rerolls, the price stays the same for each time after that. All right. That's good. That is good. Base damage on all weapons have been reduced to balance correctly with the reduced damage mitigation from the change to armor. Note that NPC health and damage has also been adapted to preserve the time to kill and time to be killed values as pre 1.6. SMGs have been given back their crit chance with a maximum roll of around 22%. What the hell does that mean? A maximum roll of around 22%. I don't think they know what the max roll is, guys. It's around 22%, you know. Oh, that's kind of funny. Cool-headed will now have a small cooldown and not trigger repeatedly with automatic weapons. That's weird. There was no automatic weapons that had cool-headed. I mean, there was a burst fire pistol. But, okay. Around 22%, guys. Oh, they're funny. Base damage increase of the L86 has been increased by 4%. Yeah, the 93R is not an automatic weapon. But, yeah, the only automatic weapon that had cool-headed, they removed it. And that was the Caduceus. Now, the damage fall-off at range has been reduced by 40%. So the L86 is going to be a long-range LMG now. That's pretty cool. I mean, the L86 is more like an assault rifle. Provident talent. The last bullet of a magazine deals 10% more damage. Oh boy. Just what we never wanted. Instead of 60%. RIP. Another useless gun talent, guys. 10% more damage on your last shot. Oh my God. I'm so excited for that talent. I want that on every gun. 10% more damage on your last bullet, guys. Sick. Oh. That's funny. Why do they even just... Why don't they just delete that fucking talent if they're gonna do something like that? But Provident was broken. Oh shit, Trev Mac, 2-month resub. Thank you so much. He says Twitch Prime is annoying with the sub. Yeah. Doesn't automatically renew. If you guys didn't know that and you use Twitch Prime to sub to our channel or anyone else's channel, every month you have to go and re-sub manually. All right, named weapons. All named weapons are now of exotic quality. Exotic weapons now have a unique talent in the third free slot. The other 2 talents are rolled randomly from the list of talents available to this weapon type. Thank fucking God. Exotics don't always roll 100% piece of shit like they used to. They actually have some randomness to them now. That's really good. It's about fucking time. It's been a year, but hey, they're starting to get their shit together here, guys. Exotic weapons aren't always guaranteed garbage anymore. Yay. Now there's a reason to get more than one of them as well. Like, you're gonna want... If you want a specific exotic weapon, you gotta get that weapon with the talents that you want now. That's a good thing. But most of them are still pieces of shit. Alright, exotic weapons owned pre-update 1.6 will have the new unique talent added and the remaining talents randomly re-rolled. Okay, so keep this in mind. Say you have, right now, you can go purchase some named weapons that you want. You might want to buy a bunch of them because they're going to get randomly re-rolled. So say you want the new pecan. Even though it sucks now, say you want it. You might want to go buy 10 of them. So, yeah. All the named guns you have are going to get re-rolled randomly. Exotic weapon talents are not transferred to the other weapon when using Alpha Bridge. Rip. And what's weird is when I use an exotic weapon and tried to transfer the talent of a normal weapon to my exotic with Alpha Bridge, it still didn't work. Hopefully that's fixed. Unless that's intended. It's not stated here. But, yeah. The JD guy, 3-month resub. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Says, looking forward to seeing you guys play 1.6. Thank you, man. False information, monster truck? No, that says it right here, man. Exotic weapons owned pre 1.6 will have the new unique talent added and their remaining talents randomly re-rolled. If I buy 10 weapons with the same perks, they will all roll the same. I don't know, man. It says it right here. It literally says it right here. So maybe they'll all roll the same and this will just be a lie. And then this would be false information. But I'm reading the line right here. Do not buy multi-weapons. Interesting. Because it literally says it right here. Exotic weapons owned pre-update 1.6 will have the new talent added and their remaining talents randomly re-rolled. So maybe they're lying to us, guys. Maybe it's not true. People in chat are trying to say that it doesn't work. So I don't know, man. Apparently they won't be randomly re-rolled. I don't know. It literally says that they will be, though. All right, Taver Prime with the 4-month resub because Amazon Prime, he says. Thank you so much. Thank you so much there. Confirmed by a Marco-style video. Well, unfortunately, Marco is not playing 1.6, so... I mean, maybe it was confirmed in the PTS. Maybe it was confirmed in the PTS. And maybe it will actually be like that. That's possible. That's possible. But I'm just reading it here. But, yeah. Apparently in the PTS, they were the same. All right. Exotic weapon talents are not... oh, yeah, we read that one. Exotic talents cannot be recalibrated. See above for more information about how recalibration works for legacy items. And we've got exotic weapons. Each received a unique descriptive lore text in their UI. Zeke is going to love that. That's going to be Zeke's favorite change. I guarantee it. The lore. The text. It's so unique.
Nothing can stop me.
Another sub. All these resubs. So many of them. RLK 281. 2 months in a row. Hyped for some Wildlands action next week. Me too, man. I'm super hyped for Wildlands action next week. Super hyped. Some exotic weapons now function as gear sets. The unique talents unlock when the 2 specific exotic weapons are equipped. FAMAS is now an exotic weapon, and the uncomplicated talent is unique. It has been renamed the Bullfrog. Base damage is increased by 11.7%. God damn. God damn. FAMAS is actually going to be a good gun. The problem with the FAMAS was that it was so weak. It's got buffed damage now. Crazy rate of fire. And yeah. I wonder why they didn't just say around 12% or around 11%. Like they did up here, around 22. They actually gave us an exact number, 11.7. All right. The Tommy gun. Carefree. Hip fire damage is increased by 11%. Too bad this gun will always suck. The Medved. Center mass. Shoots heavy slugs instead of buckshot. Still gonna suck. Hungry Hog. Glutton. Killing a target increases your damage dealt by 10% until you stop firing. Multiple kills stack this bonus up to 5 times. Not that cool. I mean, you can get it up to 50% damage if you just keep shooting and moving. It's kind of cool, I guess. You definitely want to have, what's it called on there? That talent that reloads when you get kills. Oh, DHL Express 24/7 is a subscribe for 3 months. And he says, thanks for all the info on The Division. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Good for a skill build using smart cover? No. This would not be good for a smart cover build. You have to actually, like, move and shoot with Hungry Hog. Like, it's until you stop firing. So, if the enemies are no longer there, you can't kill them anymore. So, like, I don't think this would actually work good with smart cover at all. This would be more like playing a very aggressive LMG build where you're shooting and moving constantly. If you sit in smart cover, you're not going to get this stacked up a bunch. In legendary difficulty, yeah, maybe. Maybe. But I highly doubt sitting in smart cover with it being nerfed, standing up, being able to kill things is going to work, man. Maybe, I don't know. From what I saw, you cannot stand still and get multiple kills in legendary difficulty. But maybe it's not as hard as it used to be. All right. Tenebrae. Lights out. Destroying an enemy weak point resets skill cooldowns for you and your nearby group members. Has a 10-second cooldown. Not very cool. Would definitely not give up a talent on my sniper rifle to do that. Pecan. Each kill makes the next reload have 20% extra bullets compared to its base. This is its base, guys, so not 20% of its extended magazine size. 20% of its base. What does the pecan have base? I don't even remember. I know it's not a super high one like some of the others. Is it a 50 rounder? It's base 45. So each kill gets you 9 extra bullets. That's not that cool. It's okay, but as far as that being a talent that takes place of other talents, not something that I would use there. Shit talent. Damn, I'm kind of sad. Most of these talents are really bad. We're doing a full overhaul on all these, man. Kind of disappointed in these talents. Yeah, for each kill that you get in that magazine, you get 9 extra bullets the next time you reload. Liberator and Centurion. Free Republic. Each shot with the Liberator grabits. It grabits 5%. What is grabits? Is that like a French thing? It grabits 5% to your next headshot damage with the Centurion. Max is 200%. Kills with the Centurion grant 10% RPM to all weapons for 10 seconds. That's kind of cool. Each shot with the Liberator grants you 5% to your next headshot damage with the Centurion. That's kind of cool. That grabits. Is that like what you do to the pussy? You grab it right by the pussy? I think that's what you're supposed to do. Grab it. Grab it them by the pussy. I mean, this is kind of cool, but realistically, I don't think anyone's ever going to use this. Kills with the Centurion grant 10% RPM to all weapons for 10 seconds. It's a cool idea. But yeah. But it's only to the next headshot damage. I don't think this is ever going to get used. Gonna be huge! Valkyria. Valkyria becomes Hilder and Air. It's a weapon gear set. Valkyria. Each hit with the Hilder increases critical hit damage by 1% to a max of 30. Damn, they nerfed that. So you can gain 30 crit damage. So each hit with the Hilder increases critical hit damage by 1% to a max of 30. The bonus decreases by 1 every second. This bonus only applies to the air. The Hilder cannot crit. What a fucking piece of shit. What were they thinking? This, come on. Are you kidding me? Okay, so check this out, guys. So you can use this submachine gun here that can't crit. Each time you hit something, it's going to give you up to 30 crit damage that you can't use with that gun. 30 crit damage. Then you can switch to your other submachine gun and get a bonus of up to 30 crit damage that's decreasing every second. That is fucking horrible. I mean, if Hilder could crit and just wouldn't use this bonus, maybe that'd be worth it. But shooting 30 times without ever critting to get that stack, to then have a 30 crit damage bonus to the other gun, you've got to be kidding. That is horrible. I don't think the math even adds up. I don't think that the math could even add up that losing crit chance on your submachine gun, like, if you have to shoot that many times with the Hilder, never critting once, you just lost a bunch of damage output. And then you get only 30 crit damage added to this gun. Maybe. I don't know. I see that really hard to imagine that building up crit damage with a gun that can't crit will outweigh the lost damage. Maybe if the arrow has tons of crit damage. Well, it can't have tons. It doesn't. It rolls crit chance now. Submachine guns roll crit chance. You can put crit damage on like your 3 pieces. You can put 60 crit damage on the gun itself. But you could also do that to the Hilder. I don't know, man. I see this not being useful at all. If Hilder could crit, I don't know. I don't like not being able to crit, shooting something 30 times with 0 crits, and then this gun only has a bonus of 30% crit damage that's decreasing every second. I don't think that's worth it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have a feeling that the math doesn't even add up here, and it doesn't equal out to, like, so say you had a Hilder, a normal submachine gun. It had crit damage on all its spots. You'd have 60 crit damage on it. Then you had your pulse and some other stuff. Say you had 120 crit damage. Normal. That doesn't seem out of the ordinary, having 120 crit damage. And you had, say, 50% crit chance, which is also not out of the normal, with crit chance coming back. You'd have 50% of your shots, say 30 of them, hitting for 120 crit damage. That's a lot of fucking damage. 30 shots, 50% of those, getting 120 crit damage out of it. But instead, you don't get any crit damage out of it, no crit chance out of it. Shoot 30 times, and then... Oh yeah, these are also missing mods. Both of these guns can't have crit damage on their underbarrel. There is no underbarrel on these. I forgot about that. Then you have to switch weapons, and you only gain 30 crit damage. That is just not worth it. I don't think the math adds up on this. I really don't think the math adds up on this. I'm not good at math, but in my head, that is not worth it. I think you're better off literally just shooting your air. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But I don't see how that's worth it. All right, Cassidy. This is the double barrel. Is it supposed to be 30% instead of 30 damage? Well, it increases your critical hit damage by 1% to a max of 30. So this would be 30% crit damage, yes. Not 30% damage. 30% crit damage when this gun crits. Like, maybe if this had 100% crit chance? Well, like, I don't know, man. They should let you dual wield them, man. Right click and left click. Seems like a piece of shit. Sucks, because those were potentially going to be really cool. Cassidy, the boomstick. Double trigger fires off both barrels in short succession. Okay. Urban MDR. Oh, yeah. Here's the best one right here, guys. This is the best thing I've seen so far. Base damage increased by 65%. And distracted. Your damage is increased by 18% against targets with status effects. This is a good gun. Finally. It took us quite a few reading through this to look for a gun that was actually potentially usable, and this is good. Its damage is going to be in line with like an SVD almost, and 18% more if they have a status effect. That's pretty cool, man. That's a good gun. That's a good one. The Urban MDR there. That's pretty cool. Is this a sentries gun? You could use this with sentries, yes. This works with sentries. Unfortunately, sentries marks are not status effects. What you need for status effects is like bleed, blind, fire, things like that. If you had harmful on your gun, could be good. If you're running the Urban MDR with any sort of status effect stuff. Fire Crest, Predator's Mark. Sentries doesn't count it, but it will count as a stack. So you shoot people in the head 3 times, you now have the 15% damage. Now, sentry stacks are not status effects. Someone told me that they were, and for a little bit I was saying that they were, but I'd never tested it, and it turns out that they were wrong. It is not a status effect. Sentry stacks do not give you that extra 18. See, I believe it was Tates that said it, and I think he's just special and was noticing that every time he shot someone in the head, his number was going up. But it wasn't actually going up because of distracted. It was going up because of his sentry stacks. The way you actually want to test it is use something like throw like a fire or a shock or something, and then already have the 3 stacks, and then watch your numbers go up. Yeah, there's some good ones that you could put on that. Toxic, I don't think you can get toxic on an assault rifle. Pretty sure toxic is a marksman rifle talent. As far as I know, toxic is a marksman rifle talent. So you can't actually get that on the MDR. And the MDR does not work with Deadeye. It's an assault rifle. So the MDR has enemy armor damage on it. But as far as I know, toxic is marksman rifles only. And pistols. I believe you can get it on pistols. All right. Let's see. What are we on now? Warlord. Play rough. Damage taken is reduced by 20% while firing. The damage taken is applied when you stop firing. The taken damage. So I'm assuming they mean the reduced damage. Okay. Damage taken is reduced by 20% while firing. The taken damage is applied when you stop firing. They still didn't word this properly. From what I believe when someone tested this, it's not how it's worded. The way it's worded means that you don't take any damage until you stop firing. That's not the case. You take damage, but it's reduced by 20%. When you stop firing, you then get that extra 20% applied to you. This is what happens when French people write in English. Damage taken is reduced by 20% while firing. The taken damage is applied when you stop firing. Yeah, when I read that, what that says is you don't take any damage. And in fact, when you do stop firing, the damage you would have taken is then reduced by 20%, and then you take it all. But that's not how it worked. That would nuke you, potentially. You'd just be able to sit there firing, and then stop firing, and you'd be dead. But that's not how it worked. You think they are Swedish? I mean, they're in Sweden, but a lot of them are French. I'm going to blame the French. I like to blame the French for everything. So yeah, really it doesn't actually do anything other than mitigate that 20% until you stop firing. All right. Thompson. Hipfire damage is increased by 11%. Wee Damascus pistol. Quick draw. When drawn, weapon damage is increased by 20% for 2 seconds. After that, weapon damage is decreased by 20%. Oh, Howdy Doody! 4-month resub. Thanks, Howdy Doody. Thanks for the division talk, he says. Thank you, guys. How long have I been reading this? For like an hour or so. I don't even know. It's been a long time. I'm definitely more excited about reading these notes than playing 1.5. There's nothing worse than playing the Division the day before all the new stuff comes out. It's bad. Now, tomorrow is going to be a different story. There's going to be tons of new fun stuff. But today is like, ugh. I like reading this more. All right, let's see. Golden Rhino. Increase stagger by 200%. Increase stagger by 200%. Rainbow Six. No, we're not playing Rainbow Six. We're going to be playing the Division. Making sure everyone knows we'll be playing the Division this week. We'll be playing the Division until Wildlands comes out. So Golden Rhino will stagger a lot now. Historian. Ooh, this thing got boofed. Oh, man, this is going to be really interesting to use with my Deadeye build, guys. Oh, man. Unfortunately, it misses out on the underbarrel crit damage, but check this out. Each bullet embers itself in the target and detonates 2 seconds later for 700% of the user's firearms. Oh, man. So, with Deadeye, I think this is going to work really good with Deadeye. With a firearms Deadeye build. How much damage is that? So, if we have, say, 5,000 firearms, that's 35,000 damage, right? 700% is not that much. I mean, 35,000 damage on top of all the damage that it already does is actually a lot. Keep in mind, when this implemented, at first the Historian had no base damage. But as far as I know, the Historian went back to normal. Does anyone know? I didn't play week 4 PTS. Was the Historian's base damage back to a normal M1A? Not that good. You're tripping, man. 49,000 damage? I'm just going to say at 5,000. It's back to normal. Okay, so the Historian is going to be, that's basically going to be doubling the damage with a Deadeye build right there. If you use the Historian. That is actually really good for a Deadeye build. That is really good. So you shoot them once, 100% crit chance, hits them, and then 2 seconds later, hits them, if you have 5,000 firearms, hits them for 35,000. Depending on what their EDR is. But didn't they get rid of EDR? I'm pretty sure they got rid of EDR. Yes, it can be spammed over and over, yes. If you shoot them 5 times, it's going to explode 5 times. Like, that actually seems like that's going to be my side, that's going to be my offhand. That's, EDR is still a thing? Okay. For some reason I thought I saw that they removed it. Let's look here. Okay, it's still there. Exotic damage resilience is still there. Deadeye is already OP, yes. I love my Deadeye. And I wouldn't use this necessarily primarily with your Deadeye. But say you're not up close needing to have really accurate fast shots, like with the SVD, Historian will be a good gun to pull out and do more precise shots. I think Historian will actually have a really good place in a Deadeye build. Did I do a review on Wildlands? I mean, the game's not out. I mean, like a review on the beta? No, but I will say yes, 100% worth getting. For me, like, that's one of the most fun games I've played in a very long time. I love the gameplay of Wildlands. The way the guns fire and handle, the way the enemies die, and the way I die from the enemies, as well as the terrain. Amazing. There's definitely some issues with the game and things that I wish were a little bit better, but it's going to be a ton of fun to play. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it will have any end game other than just playing the same missions with your friends. But fortunately, the amount of missions, if there's 5 or 6 missions for every zone, there's 21 zones on launch. That is a lot of missions to be able to replay with your friends. Even if you were only doing the final boss missions, that's 21 different boss missions. That sure is a lot more missions than there is in this game to do. So it won't necessarily get, even after you've done everything, it won't necessarily get so boring that it feels like you're just doing the exact same thing over and over, because there is a lot of missions in the game. A lot of them. I think it'll take a little bit longer than some people are thinking. Each mission is like 5 minutes? Not if you play it on a hard difficulty with your HUD off. I don't think, yeah, most of those missions aren't 5 minutes then. You gotta be fucking careful when you play like we played. And a lot of the missions have multiple parts to them. On the hardest difficulty, it took a full pre-made squad 5 hours to do 17% of the game. I don't know which game you played, but there was not 17%. There was 2 of 21 zones. 2 of 21 zones. So if 2 out of 21 is 17% in your world, damn. That's crazy. That is crazy. It was around 17%. Around 17%, guys. All right, where are we on now? Caduceus. Each critical hit heals you and your group for 1% of the user's skill power. This talent has a 0.2 second cooldown. A player can only be healed by 1 Caduceus at a time. Not very cool. Yeah, I think the game is going to have at least 100 hours of fun to it. Probably about 80 hours until you complete pretty much everything. And then at least another 20 hours before you're like, I'm bored of this. But if you play on a on the hardest difficulty with markers off, I find it hard to believe that you're going to be able to finish it under 50 hours. Even if they don't fix flying. I mean, it's going to suck if they don't fix flying, but I don't really care that much because I don't fly in that game that much. I mean, I really hope they do, but even if they don't, it doesn't affect me that much. I prefer driving anyways. And I can live with the driving. The driving wasn't the greatest, but it was not unplayable like the flying. The beta was rookie missions only in one zone. The other section in the beta was actually tier 5. Starting point was tier 1. All right, so where are we at now? Midas, we got 2 more guns here. Each bullet you hit with reduces your damage by 1% and your target's damage by 1% to a maximum of 20%. The effect is reduced by 5. There's too many fucking percents in this goddamn... Okay, let's read this again. Each bullet you hit with reduces your damage by 1% and your target's damage by 1% to a max of 20%. The effect is reduced by 5% per second. That doesn't seem very cool. In a perfect scenario, you'd make them do 20% damage less, and you'd do 20% damage less. That's if you hit every shot. Well, I guess, yeah, it's that you hit with. Like, okay. I don't quite understand that. Like, I guess in group play? Because now only you're doing 20% less, but the other enemy is doing 20% less to all of you. I guess that could work. Like on a skill build. Debuffing the enemy. Tomorrow. And even Zeke asks the same stupid ass questions everybody asks. Is 1.6 out? Oh my god, Zeke. Can you just at least join the chat and ask the question, Zeke? Thanks. All right. Showstopper. Base damage increased by 11%. Base damage increased by 11%. So that's cool. They increased the damage a bit on that. Oh! Graceless Conk. 2-month resub. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. But yeah, 1.6 is out. Instead of playing it, I'm going to read the patch notes, guys. All day. All right. Open world changes. Civilians will now always drop target intel when helped. Collectibles will now reward players with more XP when picked up at level 30. Woohoo! Survival. Crafting high-end pistols will no longer cost division tech. Updated survival cache content. It no longer has a specific drop that weights towards weapons introduced in survival and has a more generic drop instead. Exotic items have a small chance to drop as a bonus. Oh shit, that's our first actual new sub all day. Lady V Gaming. The rest have all been resubs, which there's been a ton of them. Thank you so much, Lady V Gaming. Really appreciate it. Oh, we need one more sub to hit 1,200, guys. And then we need 100 more to hit 1,300. And then we need 700 more after that to hit 2,000. Oh, yeah. Dude, I had a weird dream last night about our emotes. I wish I could remember what they were, but they were all animated. And they it was the weirdest dream. They were all like animated emotes. And it was weird. Like, it was animated but not animated. Oh shit. SKP Kami has subscribed. Thank you so much, SKP Kami. We got another new one. He's number 1,200. There it is. Boom, made it. Made it. All of our emotes were interconnected with each other, and they created a big picture. And I remember seeing the chat spammed with emotes, and they were like a giant picture that was animated. It was tripping me out. That'd be really cool. Trade, do it. Razorgrass79 with the 4-month resub. Thank you so much, Razorgrass79. So many resubs today. Ooh. All right, reviving players in survival from a down state will now cost a med kit. I thought it already did. When matchmaking in solo PvP survival, players will end up in a guaranteed solo instance where grouping is not possible. No shit? Oh, fuck, man. I couldn't have ever thought about that one. Holy fuck, man. When matchmaking in a solo PvP survival, players will end up in a guaranteed solo instance where grouping is not possible. Wow. I could have sworn that's what solo survival was for. Fucking... That's what ruined survival for me right there. I cannot believe that... Finally, we got it, guys. Oh, another one, Waffle Rabbit. Waffle Rabbit with a new sub. Thank you so much, man. We're on our way to 1,300. Ugh. On the way to 1,300 here. Well, that's cool. Oh, downstate is on your knees? That takes a med kit now? Damn. Interesting. Choo-choo. Yeah, we got the choo-choos here. Choo-choo. All right. 98 more to go before Zeke takes over in an hour. Can we do it, guys? 98 more subs in 1 hour. With my mind and your money, we can do this. Let's do it. All right. All right, fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. It's not working. My mind's not strong enough. I tried. I tried. I got a weak mind, I guess. Or is it that you have weak money? Which one is it? Is it my weak mind? Or is it your weak money? Let's try this again. Let's try this again. I'm going to really, really concentrate on this. I think we can do this. Oh no! I think I done tooted myself. Fuck! I tried so hard. I only got one fart. Now everything's really, really bright. Fuck. Got a weak mind. You guys have weak wallets. Try holding my breath. I don't want to die, man. I had faith in you guys. I had faith. It didn't work. Fucking hate all you guys now. My mind was weak. And then I done shit myself. Alright, where are we at? Where are we at? Right here. Players can no longer loot and kill other downed players in PvE survival. First mistake was having faith. I know. Fuck Limp Bizkit. Fuck that guy. Players can no longer loot and kill other downed players in PvE. So, if you die to an NPC in PvE, someone can't come up to you and finish you off anymore. They have to wait until you bleed out. They can still take your shit, but they can't execute you. That's a good change. That was kind of stupid. That is a cat. Supplies available around the different spawn hideouts have been rebalanced. Thank God. I hope what that means is there's not guns right outside some of the hideouts. Or 2 weapon parts right outside the hideouts. Because the spawn locations were really, really fucked, man. Some of them were literally right next to guns. Some of them were right next to fucking weapon parts. And some of them were not. So hopefully that's what that means. Underground. Killing NPCs will now grant underground XP instead of normal XP. This means that players will no longer earn normal XP when playing underground. Okay, that's good. I always thought it was weird that you got normal XP there. You'll get underground caches from the XP instead of regular field proficiency caches. Underground caches now guarantee 2 items instead of 1. That's good. Exotic items have a small chance to drop as a bonus. Nice. Oh shit! $10 donation from DreamGoat. Focus more, and you can get 1,300 people before Zeke Shift. I tried, man. We needed 99 more subs in an hour, and I spent like 3 minutes focusing and didn't even get one. So I had faith in me, and I had faith in you. I lost faith in you. I still got faith in me. I think I could concentrate anytime. Anytime. I'm the best concentrator. And believe me, I know concentrators. No one concentrates better than me. Alright? I'm gonna build a mental wall. I'm gonna make you pay for it. $4.99 a month. Alright, what's next? Incursions. Increase the weekly rewards on all challenging and heroic incursions. Okay, good. Good. Gameplay. PC only. Haha, you guys on consoles didn't get any improvements to your gameplay. They know it's shit. Several improvements and bug fixes made to gamepad support on PC. Wow. Here I go talking shit about the plebeian consoles, and the improvements are putting those fucking plebeians on the PC. Thanks, Division. Thanks. Wow. Sick. We got some good enhancements here, guys. We can use our Xbox controller on PC a little bit better now. Fuck. Rip. Bug fixes. Woo, there's a bunch of them. Let's check out these bug fixes. Ugh. All right. Fixed a bug where sometimes consumables would not be consumed when used in survival or normal gameplay. That's always good. Fixed a bug where the game would return an incorrect, out-of-playable map area error. That was hard to say. Area error in the DZ06. The area can't do it. Just can't do it. I can't sub? What do you mean I'm subbed? I'm subbed? Look at me, I can type. Check that out. I'm a fucking 2-year gold member. Oh, yeah. Wait, how do I have cheers? How do I have 100 cheers? Cheer 100. How do I have that? I've never cheered. How the fuck do I have cheers? Now I'm really confused. My dude has a purple cheer thing. Maybe someone else, while I'm logged in, farmed bits and cheered? Maybe? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe someone farmed some bits under my account and then cheered with them? How do you find out how many bits you have? I have 0 bits. That's what it says. So someone must have like... Oh! You know what? I think when we were in beta, did we get some cheer bit? No. I don't know how. Maybe someone must have farmed some on mine. Oh, there's some tasty little beats. Perch Nerds Herp. Kryptonics with the 200-bit cheer. Thank you so much, man. Wait, where did Kryptonics' little... Where'd the little guy... Oh, there. It's Cloud. Cloud's almost dead, guys. 247 more bits and Cloud dies. He's been up there for a while. Alright. Fixed a bug where the UI would incorrectly reflect the protection bonus from Hunter's Faith. Period. Gear set talent when 2 or more players had the 4-piece bonus active while in close proximity. Fixed a bug where players could accidentally use consumables while browsing the emote wheel. Fixed a bug where players could... Oh, I just read that one. Fixed a bug where the Pulse Master skill would not always trigger the early warning for hostile characters. Fixed several instances of Ballistic Shield becoming unusable. Good. Fixed a bug where recovery link would not trigger correctly. Fixed a bug where players would be unable to do anything for a few seconds after using a skill. Thank fucking God. That was so annoying. You healed yourself. Now you can't reload. You can't fire. You can't even take cover. Have fun. Oh, that was the worst. Thank God. Apparently they fixed that. Fixed a bug where the UI quick nav function would not work properly. Yay! Fixed a bug where crafting material quality would not scale properly with world tier. Fixed a bug on PlayStation. Oh, we don't care about that. Just kidding. Fixed a bug on PS4 where players would be stuck in infinite loading. Oh, that would suck for you guys. Fixed a bug where weapon talents would not activate if the character attribute values were equal, but not higher than the requirements. I remember that. Hitting that breakpoint and it still didn't give it to you? Assholes. Fix several instances of delay when using first aid. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Apparently, they fixed several instances of delay when using first aid. That's a good fix right there, if that's true, that they actually fixed it. It was so annoying. Fixed a bug where vigorous talent would not work properly. Interesting. I wonder what that means. Fixed a bug where players would be able to use consumables infinitely. Aww, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Oh, that's called fixing reclaimers. Oh. Fixed a bug where competent weapon talent would not work for certain skills. I wonder... Oh, yeah, I remember that. Certain skills wouldn't proc competent. Like throwing a fucking survival thing down. Or, I mean, whatever, supply crate thing. That's good. Competent will work with hopefully every skill now. Fixed a bug where cool-headed weapon talent would reduce consumables duration. Fixed a bug where NPC audio would not work after ending a survival game mode session. Fixed a bug where a favorited item could be accidentally marked as junk. Oof. That would suck. That right there would suck. I'm glad that never happened to me. I would have fucking raged. Fixed a bug where NPCs would often get perfect aim. Interesting. Oh shit! Why didn't that alert me? There's no alerts working for cheers. Tree. Fix it, please, right now. Thank you. Dream Goat used 568 bits. For some reason, it didn't fucking alert. Now the Dream Goat is the bit boss, and he has 321 health. Damn! Dream Goat, you're the new bit boss. There you are. 321. So if you guys don't know how the bit boss works, when you use bits, say you spend 10 bits, you're going to attack Dream Goat, and he's going to have 311 health. And say you use 321 bits, you will kill Dream Goat. Basically, it's pay to win in the most greatest form. You literally have to pay to win. Pasta. Some pasta. All right, where are we at? Fixed a bug where mods could be unequipped randomly when relogging into the game. Thank you for fixing that. It's been a year. Started to get annoying. Fixed a bug with mobile cover where talents adept, competent, and capable would stay active until either the cover was destroyed or the player changed cover. Damn, I didn't know about that bug. Dude, imagine doing that with stacked up adept. Oh, wait, no. Was it adept that could stack? Yeah, it was. Dude, imagine using that mobile. That must have been the mobile cover glitch people were doing. And then you could stack your adept up over and over and over. Huh. That's funny. Mobile club. That's funny. It would stay active until it was either destroyed or changed cover. Oh, man, that's funny. You could have gotten 100 crit chance behind your mobile cover like that. That's a nice one. Fixed a bug where sometimes the player would lose input functionality after closing the stash. Fixed a bug where signature skill cooldown would not update on the party's UI if used outside of party range. Fixed a bug with the chromatic aberration graphical setting. Bug where the crafted level 34 extended magazines would roll with lower stats than intended. Oh, really? I was wondering why my level 34 magazines were always worse than my level 32 magazines. Apparently that's why. A bug. Interesting. I wonder if that means that level 34 extended mags will have even larger mags now? Because I crafted a bunch. They were always worse than my 32s. Fixed a bug where the nimble talent could revive the player from a downed or dead state. Huh! That's funny. Fixed a bug where the enemies would be stuck behind a door during a mission in the garment district. Fixed a bug where Bryce Thompson would randomly repeat some of his lines even after the player completes the related mission. Oh, sweet. Fixed several instances of FPS drops and freezes. Interesting. Well, that's a lot of patch notes, guys. Took a long time to read through those. Holy shit. But a lot of them are good. A lot of good patch notes. I must say, though, I'm extremely disappointed in their exotic guns. The exotics are the only, like, new thing to grind for in 1.6. And honestly, looking at their exotic guns, there is only one that I would ever consider... Two that I would consider using. The Historian and the Urban MDR. The rest are trash. Which is a big fucking bummer, man. Big bummer. Have all this fucking changes and all this stuff on all these fucking guns to try to make them cool and still fail so badly on these. Like, I am extremely disappointed in the uselessness of all of these guns. I don't see a single gun that I'd rather use over, you know, just a regular gun. Oh, and maybe the FAMAS, the Bullfrog. Which is weird because it's not even listed here. The FAMAS is now... Okay, it's listed here. FAMAS is now the Bullfrog. Base damage increase 11.7. But other than that, I don't think I could ever see myself using any of these over your standard-ass gun. What happened to the blind rifle? That is the Urban MDR. Damage is increased by 18% against targets with status effects. That is the blind rifle. It's just been renamed because they got rid of the blind set. The Warlord? No, the Warlord has a horrible... This is really bad. That's basically pointless. Yeah, Seeker set got removed from the game. There's no new set. No new guns. I'm kind of disappointed in, like, the stuff. It's cool that we got this new PvP patch. We get to play PvP now. Like a structured PvP. That's the greatest thing. But as far as, like, gear goes, there's really no new gear to strive for, and there's no new gear score. I think this is going to be the most short-lived DLC that the Division did. Partially to blame Wildlands for that. The FAMAS is now called the Bullfrog. How decent was Glass Deadeye Historian on PTS? I actually never played when they buffed the Historian back to having base damage with firearms scaling. But it's going to be really good with Deadeye. I won't use it as a primary gun with Deadeye. I'll use it that I can switch to it and use it when I need some more precise shots. Because the thing with the M1As is they're not very good with Deadeye because you can't fire them at full rate of fire accurately. You gotta fire them slower than they allow you. So if you've got the time to kind of just sit back and snipe a